You've heard about the science of reading, but it can be a little overwhelming if this is not the way you were trained in your teacher preparation program. So instead of being overwhelmed, I want to present you with a good place to start on the right track. I'm Stephanie, and I support educators to improve reading outcomes by learning about and implementing the science of reading. In this video, I'm going to recommend 6 books that will get you started in learning about the science of reading and off on the right track so that you are not distracted or overwhelmed. I'm going to share with you a series of books that are true to the research, but put that research in plain everyday language that you'll be able to understand and digest. And these books also help you to build that divide between research and practice. So give you some good practical strategies, instructional routines, and methods that you can use right away in your instruction. If you find this video helpful, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and tell your friends about it as well. All the books I'm mentioning are linked in the description, and if you buy through one of those links, I get a small commission. If you're only able to buy one of the books I'm recommending, the one I would encourage you to buy is Reach All Readers by Anna Geiger. This is not a big, intimidating book. It's a paperback. One of the things I really love about this book is that I know Anna personally. She was our student when I was at Mount St. Joseph University. This book is based on her own experience as a teacher and her personal journey. So it starts out with her description of the transformation that she went through, which I think is so honest and just vulnerable and wonderful to listen to. It really resonated with me when she asked me to write the foreword because it's a story I've heard over and over and over again from so many educators who were not given the advantage of knowing the reading research in their teacher preparation program. They had to figure it out on their own, and that was very difficult. It may be where you are right now. So I think you'll also relate to the information in Anna's book. I also love that she goes into not just the science of reading, but the science of human learning. And she frames the debates about instruction, the reading wars, as some people call them, in a research-based context. She covers all of the essential early literacy skills. She also makes a connection to writing, which is sometimes missing in books about the science of reading. She includes at the end a chapter about dyslexia, which I know is on a lot of people's minds right now. It can be mysterious to some educators, so I love that that chapter is there. And then, of course, my favorite aspect of this book is that she includes multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS, as the framework for implementing the science of reading. So I hope you'll check out Reach All Readers. My second recommendation, also by an amazing classroom teacher, is Seven Mighty Moves from Lindsay Kemeny. Also somebody I know personally. I'm honored to know Lindsay. She is an absolute rock star teacher. So this was really tough to choose just one top book. Highly recommend this accessible book, also full of practical instructional routines, just like Reach All Readers, lots of QR codes, links out to videos so you can see these practices in action. The approach that Lindsay takes in this book is not just telling you what you should change, but giving you these specific 7 moves. So what you want to move away from, and then importantly, what you want to move towards. So swap out this old practice for something new. Full of instructional routines centered around what works, what Lindsay has actually used in her classroom with real students and gotten results. So you can't get any more real than that. So Seven Mighty Moves is high up on my recommendation list if you're starting with the science of reading. A book that you might not be as familiar with is Reading for Life by Lynn Stone. Lynn is a linguist in Australia. So what she brings to this, what I still think as an introductory text, is all of her deep knowledge of language, spoken language, written language, why written language can be so difficult for some students, especially students with dyslexia. She starts out with models of reading instruction, reading development, deep information, but still easy to read about the research behind all of those language structures that underlie literacy for students. So the basis in language is what I love about this book. Lynn gives you lots of good information about why you should change your instructional practices, but also recommendations for how. What's nice about this book is it's part of a series. So if you like Lynn's style, which I think you'll love because she's got a great sense of humor, you can check out the other books that are in her series. So continuing with the non-US author theme, I'm going to recommend The Art and Science of Teaching Primary Reading by Christopher Such, who is from the UK. This book is organized around the simple view of reading. So there is a section about the word recognition skills and a section about the language comprehension skills. And I love that particular framing because the simple view has so much research behind it. So what Chris does in this book is give you a series of very, very short chapters, which can be great when you're a busy teacher because you can just read, 2 or 3 pages one day and come back to it the following week. The chapters are organized by giving you a summary of the research, just a very, very brief, here's what's important. But then how is that applied? What should you do? What should you expect to see in the classroom? In keeping with the science of learning, each chapter has discussion questions at the end. So I've done book studies with this book. It's an excellent book to use in that way because the discussion questions are right there for you. Then there are also retrieval questions, which is great for making sure that you as a reader have actually digested what was in the chapter. And then some recommendations for further reading. Chris also has a nice YouTube presence and some really great videos available there. Okay, going to one of my absolute all-time favorite books, Explicit Instruction by Anita Archer and Charles Hughes. This may be the very first book that you read about the science of reading and the science of learning if you want to go straight to the how-to. The other books I've mentioned will also give you the why and the what. This one fills in the blanks about the how. What I love so much about this book is that it spans all content areas, so it's not just specific to reading, and it is applicable across grade levels. So this is not just for primary grade teachers. High school teachers get a lot out of this book as well. This book is based in explicit instruction, systematic instruction, instruction that has been shown over decades to be effective, and not just the instructional routines that fit those characteristics, but when to use them. The authors do a really nice job of pointing out that explicit instruction is not needed all the time, all day with every student, but they start out with a nice framework of which students benefit most from explicit and systematic, cumulative, and diagnostic instruction. So this would be an excellent book also for a book study. It's an excellent book if you're looking to go deep. This is not quite as thin, and it's full of text, right? So just be lots of instructional routines and applications to the classroom, but it's not quite as light in terms of the text. It's a little bit more like a textbook, which is why I recommend this book, particularly for university professors. If the science of reading is new to you and you think it's just the 5 basic early literacy skills and you're missing that background knowledge about how to teach effectively, this would be an excellent place for you to start. Lots of examples across content areas included in this book. Okay, so my last recommendation, you can see all of my many, many Post-it notes over the years, is Speech to Print by Louisa Moats. If you are a little bit more on the academic side, if you are an academic, if you're an SLP or a school psychologist, and you haven't read Speech to Print, this is the book that you need to pick up next. If you are new to the science of reading, but you want a deep dive, you don't just want to skim the surface, this is the book for you. This book goes into the language structures. So this idea of Reading being a language-based skill, the title, Speech to Print, our instruction starts by drawing students' attention to speech, working on their oral language, expressive and receptive, and building from that language foundation, all the aspects of language, morphology, syntax, and so on. So that's how the chapters are organized. This book does an extremely deep dive into the research. It is aligned to the research through and through. And to support you as you are reading through the book, because it is a little bit heavy, there's a workbook now. So as you're reading each chapter, you can do exercises that help you apply what you're learning and assess your learning to make sure that you're really understanding it. And I think this is a testament to how deep this book is. This is the third edition. I've read all three editions. I go back to this book over and over and over again. That's why you can see many different types of post-it notes over the years as I've needed to learn something new or refine my understanding or go deeper into a topic. This is the book I return to. So you don't want to just get this one like on your Kindle or iPad or something like that. You don't want to just check it out from the library. You want a copy of this book on your professional bookshelf. Okay, so there are descriptions of each of these books in the description of the video, links for purchasing each of these books in that description. And I want to encourage you to just start with one of these. Depending on your level of background knowledge, depending on the role that you are in education, choose one from this list of 6. You can't go wrong with any of them, and just get started. Don't be intimidated. Don't put it off any longer. Just peruse the table of contents, pick something that interests you that's related to the work that you're doing, and start there. For more support, check out the Reading Science Academy. We are here to help support your reading science journey.